Harry and Arney's Epic Island Adventure, an unlikely duo on one shell of a wild ride. Written by yours truly, Miss Mia, and illustrated by Sterling's mom, Tara Lawson. Harry was a hermit crab with a nice, reliable shell. And all in all for Harry, things were going really well. He lived by a sea of turquoise blue on a beach of silky sand at a special spot called Rum Point on the Isle of Grand Cayman. Yes, you could say that Harry was a crab who had it made. He spent his days just snacking and relaxing in the shade, breathing in the salt air from a breeze oh so sublime, always chillin', never rushin', moving slow on island time. The shell that Harry carried as his home upon his back was sturdy, strong, and working great without a single crack. It kept him safe from predators and sheltered him from rain. Despite all this, young Harry still found reasons to complain, 'cause each crab in his family owned a painted shell. But Harry's was just whitish beige and plain au naturel, with no spots, no stripes, no animals, or Caribbean scenes, and a fabulously painted shell was the stuff of Harry's dreams. Be patient, child, your time will come, his mom and dad advised. Your outside shell matters much less than what's on the inside. Only full-grown hermit crabs get shells that have decor. But Harry wasn't satisfied. Harry wanted more. So off he scuttled in a slump, ignoring their wise words. Feeling so sorry for himself, he didn't see the bird! Harry's world flipped upside down. He let out a great squeak, surprised to find himself trapped in a frigate bird's long beak. They soared up to the puffy clouds. The ground was far below. They glided miles on warm air drafts away from Harry's home. The mighty bird gave Harry a few tasting pokes and pecks, but quickly got frustrated, irritated, and quite vexed, because he had been hoping for a soft and tender lunch. But luckily for Harry, his hard shell packed too much crunch. So Mr. Frigate dropped him. Harry fell and hit the ground. "Youch!" he said, then rubbed his head and took a look around. He'd barely got his bearings when he felt a great big push. He stumbled, tumbled, rolled along, and landed in a bush. 3 bright green eyes came peering. He was dragged out by a claw, and soon 2 cats were playing catch with Harry as their ball. A pair of felines from the streets, both rough and tough and mean, and both named Beau. How strange is that? With Harry in between. From paw to paw, back and forth, from to and then to fro, Harry was getting swatted fast from bow to bow to bow. "Stop, you mangy balls of fur," they heard a loud voice shout. "You're hurting him, and I command you both to cut it out." One bow snickered, one guffawed, and both bows hissed and meowed at the lizard standing in their path, so small, yet brave and proud. "Go bask on a rock, go chew on a grub," Beau answered back. "Get lost before we eat you for our tasty midday snack." "You asked for it, I warned you, but too late," the lizard said. Then he shot out his great throat fan, all magnificent and red. The bows were shocked and shaken by this sudden bold display. "Good grief!" cried Beau. "Egad!" yelled Beau, and both bows ran away. Harry said, "Thanks, you saved my life. I'm Harry. Who are you?" "I'm Arney the Anole, little crab. How do you do?" "I'm discombobulated, and my nerves are frayed and racked. I'm lost, and I am frightened, but I seem to be intact. I need to get back home to Rum Point and my family." Arney said, "Great, I'll tag along. How about some company? Stick with me, kid, and I can guarantee you'll be all right. I'm streetwise and I'm feisty, and I ain't afraid to fight. I swear to be your loyal friend now and forevermore. Besides, I got nobody worth hanging around here for." Just then, a truck came rumbling up with a delivery guy. They overheard him say, "I going Rum Point, Cayman Kai." So the new pals scrambled up fast into the cargo bed. The horn went honk, the engine roomed, and off the big truck sped. They traveled down some windy roads and through a 4-way stop, and little houses soon gave way to big hotels and shops. The old truck sputtered suddenly and gave a cough and choke, and stalled just as it blasted out one last great puff of smoke. "Aw, jeez 'em," yelled the driver, and Arney said, "Let's go. This hunk of metal's busted, so we better hit the road. They jumped down to the sidewalk on the crowded, busy street and almost got squashed underneath a bunch of tourists' feet. Arney grabbed Harry by the claw and dove out of the way. "Epic dive, my little dudes," they heard a strange voice say. "Run, a chicken!" Harry shrieked. "They eat crabs and lizards. I've heard they will stuff anything down their hungry gizzards." "Relax, amigos, don't be scared, I'm not gonna eat ya. My name's Bodie, I'm a vegan, and it's rad to meet ya. Vegan birds do not eat meat, I swore I never would, 'cause nuts and seeds and fruits and veg are finger-licking good. You must be new around these parts, or surely you would know I'm just a peaceful surfer bird who moved from Idaho to catch some waves, to meet some chicks, and to enjoy the weather, to feel the sand between my claws and sun upon my feathers. And to my vow of kindness to all creatures I am stickin'. My mama taught me right from wrong and not to be jerk chicken." Said Arney, "If you speak in truth and not just poppycock, you'll take us to the closest beach and point us to a dock. We need to catch a boat back to the place they call Rum Point." Bodie said, "Sure, I hear that it's a real bodacious joint. Right down that past the most excellent beach called 7 Mile. Just stow away in that guy's pack where you can ride in style." "I overheard him saying that he's getting on a boat." The pals snuck in the pack and were soon peacefully afloat, but realized not long after the boat had left the shore, they'd hitched a much more extreme ride than what they'd bargained for. And for the second time that day, Harry was quite surprised to find himself lifted hundreds of meters in the sky, beneath a parasail peacefully drifting through the air, and all that he and Arney could do next was gape and stare at the blue and green mosaic of the Caribbean Sea, at the surface of the water shimmering so brilliantly. Yes, they could see for miles and miles, and so upon inspection, Harry figured out they were going the wrong direction. So he told Arney, "We must jump as soon as we get low. Quick, climb inside my shell so you're protected from the blow." They leaped and landed roughly on a small pier's wooden ledge, then rolled from the momentum till they fell right off the edge and splashed into the water where a school of giant fish, in a feeding frenzy, thought that Arney looked delish. So as you could imagine, their luck turned and headed south when Arney ended up inside the biggest tarpon's mouth. But just when Harry thought Arney would meet an end most tragic, he was surprised to see his friend swim free, as if by magic. And when the fish chased Arney to get back its lizard feast, Harry pinched it with his claws and fended off the beast. They crawled ashore, and Arney said, "Together, we can't fail." Harry looked down and shouted, "Where the dickens is your tail?" "Ah, that old thing. I dropped it to get free from the attack. Anole lizards have tails that fall off and then grow back. Now let's hop on board the helmet on that scooter over there, 'cause chatting on this beach, we sure ain't getting anywhere." The scooter went putt-putting off along the harbor side, and the crab and lizard sat back to enjoy the scenic ride. Through quaint little communities along the pretty shore, past beaches, blowholes, fish fries, pirate caves, and so much more, they covered a good distance as they traveled down the road. But somewhere, close to almost there, the little scooter slowed and stopped under the cool shade of a giant silver palm. "Now what's the plan?" asked Harry as they hopped onto the lawn. But before they could discuss where next they might be heading, they noticed they were smack dab in the middle of a wedding. The iguana at the pulpit said, "Today you flock together to celebrate the union of these two birds of a feather. Wanda, do you take Polly as your husband from this day? If times get tough, do you swear not to up and fly away? Polly, do you take Wanda as your lawful wedded wife? Bear in mind all parrots must commit to mate for life." "I do, I do," they both screeched as the crowd squawked with delight. "Polly and Wanda Cracker, I pronounce you man and wife. Congratulations, Mazel Tov, I wish you all the best. Now go honeymoon at Rum Point and start working on your nest." "Now's our chance," said Arney. "Look, he's gonna kiss the bride. There ain't one birdie watching us, so we can sneak inside that basket full of mangoes with the sign that says 'Just Married.'" The lovebird smooched and then took flight, and off the friends were carried. There it is, Harry shouted as Rum Point came into view. My home sweet home, and now it will be your home sweet home too. It's beautiful, said Arney. Aw, man, I'm so excited. Then they landed on the beach where Harry became reunited with his family of crabs, who cried out, Harry, where have you been? We've been worried, sick, and searching everywhere and in between. We're oh so glad you've come back, and we've got a big surprise. It's something special just for you. You won't believe your eyes. Then they presented Harry with a top-notch painted shell. And Harry said, Aw, shucks, guys, I am honored. This is swell. But I think I'll stick with this same shell that I've been living in. It's been with me and kept me safe through times, both thick and thin. Besides, I've learned one big thing by my great adventure's end. The best accessory to have is an amazing friend. And when you meet this kind of friend, you'll keep them from the start. Not on your back for all to see, but deep inside your heart. And as the sun was setting, the two pals sat side by side. I think I'm gonna love it here, said Arney with a sigh. The end. Thank you so much for listening to my story, Casa friends. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Did you notice that some of the words in the story were orange? Well, you can find those orange words here now in the glossary. The glossary is a section at the back of some books that defines and explains words and terms from within that book. See you again soon, my little hermit crabs and anole lizards.